Hey, Verna here, Christmas cheer day. Wanted to let you know that there was no number 14 on the 15th because I was out and about. But making up for it now, today is the 16th and we're going to do number 15. So we're just kind of continuing along, pretending that there was a 14, but there was no 14, if you know what I mean. Anyway, great treat for you today and the next 4 days after today. I am going to be reading you one of my first stories that I wrote when I went back to school as an older adult for college. I went back I went to college really. It was like really the first time in 1988. I was already in my mid 30s. I was a mom, I was working, and I went back to school. Went back to school for 11 straight years. Got my AA, my BA, and my master's. So quite the cool thing. And so I want to share, I still have this manuscript from probably 1989. It was one of the first second semesters that I was there, Long Beach City College. And I'm going to read it to you over the next 5 days. Okay, because it's a Christmas story. And I loved it. And I will say, I got a B++. How can you get a B++? I really think that meant it was an A-, but you know, who's complaining, right? Anyway, so here we go. Maggie's Christmas Angel. And I brought this little angel here to be with us as we read this story for the next 5 days. So again, one of the first things that I wrote as a college student, and I still love it today, and that's how many years later. So let's enjoy what we've created, right? All right, here we go. Maggie's Christmas Angel. What is it about the Christmas season? Maggie grumbled as she carried in the grocery bags and set them down on the kitchen counter. Just when everyone should be in a festive spirit, it seems like they get even grumpier than they are the rest of the year. Grabbing the cat food cans and shoving them into the cupboard, she continued. I'm sick and tired of old ladies pushing their way in front of me at the checkout counter and harried mothers pleading with me. Please, can I go first? My baby's sick. My 5-year-old gets out of kindergarten in 10 minutes. Such sorrowful looks on their faces, their hair, a mess, and those eyes. It's the eyes that grab me every time. Having vented her wrath upon her husband, Ted, Maggie whirled around as her son Jeff waltzed into the room. Something about his devil-may-care attitude grated on Maggie and fueled a smoldering fire into a raging inferno. She ripped one of the paper bags, spilling apples on the floor as she tore into her son. Why aren't these dishes done, Jeff? I'm sick and tired of having to tell you over and over again. Why is it that you're able to remember to play video with your friends but not do your chores? That's the third time this week I've had it. You're on restriction for a week. We'll see if you can do your chores with extra time on your hands. As Maggie screamed these words, she noticed Ted's look. His handsome blue eyes had narrowed into small slits and he had lost his complacent grin. I don't care, she told herself. He never goes to the market. He never fights these rotten people. All he does is work on his stupid computer. I'm sick of that too. I wish he'd say something to me. Boy, I'd love an opportunity to tell him a thing or two. Pulling her head back in defiance, Maggie straightened her hair, taking a deep breath. She looked directly at her husband. I suppose you think I'm overreacting, Ted. Well, I'm not. And just to prove my point, I'm going on strike. From now on until New Year's Day, you can be in charge of all the food preparation. You handle the decorations and gift buying. I'll stay home, play Christmas carols, visit my friends, eat goodies, and drink hot chocolate. We'll see how much I'm overreacting. Your children can help you if you can get them to. Maggie stomped out of the kitchen without waiting for a response. She retreated into her bedroom and threw herself on the neatly made bed. This was her favorite room in the whole house. She'd spent a lot of time going over magazines and decorating books to find just the right combination of colors and fabrics to fit her and Ted's dispositions. The walls were painted a pale pink with just a touch of white. The carpet was a deep rose color, thick and luxurious to the touch. Her bed linens and draperies were a beautiful combination of dark navy blue with rose-colored flowers. The furniture was heavy, solid pieces made with handcrafted workmanship. She'd had to wait 6 months for the set to be delivered from back east. It was quality furniture at its best. Actually, the whole house reflected Maggie's love of fine things. She'd been lucky enough to marry a man whose job provided her with ample resources to indulge her every whim. Unfortunately, Maggie had reached a stage in her life where these material goods had lost their sparkle. Ted didn't pay any attention to her or the house. The kids, Jeff, who was 16, and Kelly, age 14, had established peer groups that took up most of their time. They made it a habit to take advantage of Maggie's good-natured care. It seemed to Maggie that things were completely out of hand. My children are ungrateful, rotten kids. My husband's unfeeling and distant. My life is as meaningful as dust. Tears welled up in her hazy brown eyes and slowly rode down her cheeks. Burying her head in her hands, Maggie sobbed herself to sleep. Maggie's quick exit from the kitchen hadn't given Ted or Jeff any time to react to her statements. Shaking his head slowly, Ted let out a breathless whistle. Whoa, what was that? I've never seen your mom so upset. I can't imagine what has gotten into her. I know this is a busy time of the year, but normally she enjoys Christmas. Buying presents and baking tons of sweets, decorating the house have always kept her excited and bubbling for weeks. Suddenly she wants me to be in charge? That is absolutely ridiculous. Jeff stared at his dad and muttered under his breath. Must be that time of the month, maybe even that stage of life. She's not getting any younger, that's for sure. Ted looked at Jeff with more than slight annoyance. Being over 40 doesn't automatically qualify someone for over-the-hill status. Perhaps there's another reason for your mom's outburst. When was the last time you did your chores without being told 1,000,000 times? Ted's mouth tightened into a straight line as he turned away from his son. He put the milk cartons into the refrigerator and slammed the door. Shoving aside the toothpaste and hairspray, he reached for the personal computer magazine Maggie had bought for him. Finish putting these groceries away and do the dishes. And I mean now. Don't even think of giving me any lip. I've had enough problems today. Now I have to go talk to your mother. Get busy. Thus ends part 1 of Maggie's Christmas Angel. I hope you'll stay tuned. Come back tomorrow and see what happens next. Thanks, everybody. Here's to Christmas cheer.